how to draw Saitama in both a simple and complex style. For the sketching and shading, I will be using a mechanical pencil. I will use a favorite pastel Sharpie pen for tracing the simple drawing. A white eraser is the best choice to get rid of any big mistakes. Finally, the kneaded eraser, good for decreasing the darkness of hard pencil strokes. We'll start at the bottom with a slightly diagonal line for the side of the arm. You do soft line, draw a more shallow line for the shoulder, 2 vertical lines for the neck. Then sketch a good oval. Draw a slightly diagonal vertical line centered on the face. Notice his head is tilted. Then do a slightly diagonal horizontal line for the raised up eyes. Sketch out little ovals to get an idea of where the eyes will be. Sketch a long line for the low nose, and once that's done, sketch out a little mouth. Sketch out curvy triangles for the cape attachments on the shoulders. Then sketch the curved shirt neck along with the zipper. Then sketch out 2 lines to separate the arms from the torso. After, use the kneaded eraser to lighten the lines for the head just a little bit, so the shading and penning will be better due to this. In the video, I started darkening the torso and shoulder lines a bit more. Definitely trace the creases and folds on the cape attachments. Then draw out the buttons on the cape attachments. Continue to darken up the lines for everything in the torso. Once you are confident that what you sketch satisfies you, then draw a smooth diagonal line for the cape. When you are ready, draw out the shape of the head. Pay attention and follow the oval you sketched before, while also giving him a slightly realistic head shape. Notice how I added a bit of a dent near the eye level, indicating his angled head position. I made the top of his head slightly higher. Fixed up his jawline a bit, and brought up his chin. For his right eye, shape it into a bit of a curvy, as if it's sort of an angry eye. For the left eye, shape it into a regular oval. So then add a diagonal right eyebrow and slightly more horizontal left eyebrow, therefore giving him his confused look. Draw out the nose as well as the mouth. I brought up the shirt neck because the neck felt too long. Next, make some cut-off ovals for the ears. They start at the eye level and end at the nose level. The slight dispositions will depend on the tilted head. In here, I brought the nose a bit lower because I needed to, and same with the mouth. If you make any mistakes, then do the same. I made the top of his head slightly higher and smaller. I fixed the left jawline. And now we are shading. Make sure to softly and confidently color back and forth throughout the whole face. Do the same diagonal lines for the neck. Then do the same for the shirt, if not a tiny bit darker. Also color the cape, of course. Under the chin, shade the neck a much darker than the rest of the neck. Go over it a second time for a good smooth layer. Don't forget to shade the ear like I did. Lighten the line left eye a bit for when you pen trace it. After, start making the hatch parallel lines on right side of face for shading. Do the same for the right ear. The line is slightly diagonal going up. Be careful with your lines. Have fun. Make them parallel, and to darken them up a slight bit if you're not satisfied. Then, make cross-hatching lines to shade the right side of the neck. Make it extra dark in the darker area right under the chin. Here, you cannot see, but I'm hatching on the right side of the right arm for shading. Basically the same as what we did for the face. So add hatching on the right side of the torso, and as well as the right side of the left arm. Also hatch the shirt neck and cape attachments. Also add hatching to the cape. Then add hatching on the left side of the nose to finalize the shading on the face. Color in the buttons on the shoulders. I just do curve patterns following the shape of the buttons. Leave a spot uncolored for the shine, and a darker coloring in the middle. Almost the end. Get the black pen and trace SAITAMA to your best ability. Add the little pupils, the letter S for the helix of the ears, the neck, the attachments and the buttons, the arms, the cape, etc. If you can, add a shine to the left side of SAITAMA's bald head. And with that, we are done with the simple drawing, only taking 26.5 minutes to draw. The top of the head could have been a bit more circular, and the most of the art could have been shaded darker. But how did you do?
So now we're on to the
complex side. A slightly diagonal line for the back going outwards. After doing the same for the right, draw a more shallow line for the shoulder. On the other side, instead of doing the same, make the shallow line lower to create the guide SAITAMA's chest. Next, sketch a stretched pentagon to shape out his right fist. Next, sketch an inward diagonal line on the side to indicate his right arm, then connect it to the fist. Then draw a small vertical line at the top middle of the torso as I did to make the neck. Connect it to the chest and draw another line for the back of the neck. Then sketch out an oval for the head. Next, sketch a diagonal line for his jaw, then the chin, and then the other jawline. Then straighten up the sides of his head to give a more realistic anime head shape. Next, draw the cape attachments on both sides and start extending the cape itself. Then make circles on the arm to perfect the shapes of the shoulder, bicep and elbow leading to the forearm. Draw the line rounding the left side of the circles to sketch the initial shape of the arm. Make sure you can distinguish each part. Having to squeeze in the chest area a bit more to make his body smaller. Sketch neck as well as the zipper area. Sketch out a dent on the side of the fist pentagon on the forearm for a more realistic fist shape. Create 4 diagonal lines separating each finger. The one closer to the dent should be the highest. Then close up the fingers with curves to express the bending of the fingers to the fist position. Then sketch out the When you're done, sketch out the knuckles with simple curves. Then change up the lines that separate the fingers. They shouldn't be completely straight anymore, and instead should have a slight wave to them that gives them a natural shape. So, when you finish, draw 2 intersecting diagonal lines to indicate the tightened neck muscles. Then, draw the buttons on the cape attachments. When you are done, draw a slightly curved vertical line centered on his face. It should be closer to his left side. Then, draw a curved horizontal line centered on his face for the eyes. When you're ready, draw a low nose down the vertical line once again. Then, draw out his small mouth. Along the horizontal line, sketch out 2 sharp and squinted eyes. Make sure to follow the line and make him look angry with the creases on top and in between his eyes. Then sketch out the shape of his ear. I kinda had to make his head higher and bigger. I also squeezes in his jawline and make sketch out a bit of the creases and folds on his cape. Then when you're ready to shade and whatnot, erase all the sketch lines while keeping the drawing itself. Draw out the small pupils. Okay, so what I did next was draw lines to indicate where I was going to shade dark or leave empty. Make sure to follow how I did it or how it looks on the picture. Do remember to separate the bicep, tricep, shoulder, and forearm with lines in the shading. Use the kneaded eraser on the face before actually shading and tracing firmly. We will not be using the pen for this one. Shade his face's right side softly and his left side darkly while keeping the edge untouched. Add shading to the crease between his eyes and under his right eye near the nose bridge. Shade his neck area darkly and trace out his head and facial features. Shade the muscles, darkening the separations for definition on the muscles. Shade his chest area, forearm, and fist. Make the zipper and cover his belt. Color the buttons for the cape attachments as done before. Shade the cape folds and creases as shown in the picture. Trace them out completely with the pencil as hard as you please. And just like that, you have learned to draw Saitama in both a simple and complex style in 21 minutes. Good job! Like, subscribe, and comment for more. Have a good day.